It was a constant learning experience. The lines were memorized, at least on my part. Sometimes the other actors were not. As a fan, I want to see him fight one of his friends. Like all of that being embraced by Japan and its fans.
Now, coverage like no other. Bringing you videos from the event floor. You're watching convention coverage.
How's your weekend been going?
Wonderful. So this is my first live convention. I've done some online, but yeah, we did this panel on Friday. And
Yeah,
it's my first time. Everything is new. I'm learning so much.
no changes of opinion between Friday and now, right? All good?
So much better.
So much better.
No,
All right.
yeah, it's great.
They're treating you well?
Yeah, they're treating. I just took a photo with Master Chief. It's amazing.
Now you're a gamer, so I mean, how was
Yes.
that for you?
I don't have an Xbox.
Oh,
So I don't. But he's a legend.
he is, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was an honor.
I mean, Halo was kind of groundbreaking and game-changing. Forget
yeah?
the pun, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, 2001, Combat Evolved, and just, I mean, I remember playing it, going, "Oh my God, this game's amazing."
Oh really?
To go from N64 GoldenEye graphics to Xbox
right.
One and playing Halo,
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, that's how much of a gamer I am. Yeah, I know very little, but I do play. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
PlayStation stuff most
Oh,
of it. And I
yeah.
did just get a Switch, so.
Oh, Switch, you're
Yeah.
good. You got to go get Metroid Dread.
Oh really?
Yeah, Metroid Dread's fantastic. Can we play Metroid? Yeah, I'm still stuck on Kraid. I can't get the timing down. It's like old school Metroid side-scrolling, jumping, platforming, and
Yeah.
the boss, the timing, I just can't get it down. I'm getting worked every time.
Man, I love the gaming community because like I also stream on Twitch, and every time I'm like, mention what should I play next, and they're like, some like 100 opinions.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is the game that you have to play next, and then another so many different games.
It's kind of like anime. You ask for an anime suggestion and you get 1,000 of them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, okay, now I got to pick and choose. But
I'm
yeah,
sure, yeah. These
gaming's the
guys-
same way.
Yeah.
Hi, thanks for coming by. Really appreciate what you've done with Jin. This is like I've been slowly working my way through Ghost of Tsushima because every moment that I get to a next story beat, it's just another emotional roller coaster for me. So I've really loved what you've done with Jin and the trauma of dealing with how does he cope with what he's going through right now.
Yeah.
My question for you is has there been any progress on you getting to play Jin in the movie? And has any of the motion capture work that you probably did for Jin for the game influenced any decision making that's helped kind of push you closer and closer to playing Jin in the film?
Ah, man, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know anything about the movie or the sequels. I'm sure you all have that question. You can ask it, but I don't know anything. Even if I knew anything, I'm not supposed to say anything. But I honestly don't know anything. I hope so. I talked to Patrick Gallagher, who plays Khan, and he's been in the business, long time. And we kind of say, like, we're not going to hold our breath. We know what Hollywood does usually, but for my case, I'd like to say that like they have a very unique opportunity to hire the VO actor and the face of the actors in the live action movie, and I don't think that's ever been done before because usually the voice actors don't match with Uncharted and The Last of Us, so that we understand, but they have a chance to do something unique and to get the fans excited about the movie. So I hope they make that choice, but I have no control over it, and I've been working out since Christmas. I've been working out just to be like, if they ask me, they'll be like, I've been working out. And I also did a YouTube video of like me doing Jin Sakai moves in the game, which stuff like that I think helps. Mocap, I don't know. I don't know if they see that as I'm sure, maybe, but mocap is so different because you just strip down. It's like a room like this where you don't have anything and it's just a bodysuit and film. Obviously, you get the actual horse. We didn't have real horses. I didn't have to practice that. So it's a completely different world. So I would love to have that experience, but I don't know. I'm not holding my breath.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm actually going through my second playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, okay.
when the game was first shown at E3, and then the year after, I believe, when it was available to pre-order, I just pre-ordered it, and I was so excited. And it was such a big thing for me because it was cool to see just the problems that Jin, the conflicts that Jin was having to go through, and how he overcame it. My question is, how was it for you playing Jin Sakai? Like,
Oh yes. How was it? It was a constant learning experience because, the first day we had this an idea of an arc, and I think they kept to that arc for the most part, but along the way there's been like changes, and my backstory changed a lot. There was a lot of changes that went with Kazumasa, the father figure, the father. Lord Shuma is the father figure. But so, there are some scenes that are in there where in my mind I'm playing something different than it is presented, if that makes any sense,
Yeah.
because the backstory kept changing. But, so interesting enough, like playing it, I'm such a nerd of my own game, so I played through it 4 times already. The 4th time was the director's cut. But playing it through the first time, I feel like I kept learning about the story that we're telling together. So yeah, it was like that. It's a constant learning experience.
thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start off by saying it's awesome that you look just like Jin. I think it's really cool. Yeah. I just got the game not too long ago. I got the director's cut version, and I'm already around Act 2. And it's funny because I got the game like a week ago, and hearing that you're coming here from SacAnime was just like, what? Like,
Yeah.
it was greatness. But I just want to ask, how was it working with Sucker Punch? Because I know they worked with like Infamous, and I think they also did Sly Cooper too. If I good, yeah. So like, I just want to know, how was the whole like reading the script of like playing Jin, and how you had to like mentally prepare playing that role? How was that whole process for you?
Yeah, you mentioned Sucker Punch. They're the best. I love them.
Yeah.
Nate Fox, the director, like from the callbacks, I got to meet him and kind of work with him, and I thought that he was from Canada, but he's from Seattle, so it's close enough.
Cool.
But he has that sense of humor, like kind of nerdy. So I just hit it off with him right away, and so the process of making the whole thing with him and Billy Harper, it was such a collaborative effort with me and other actors, and a lot of times we would, before the mocap stuff, we would just talk over the scenes, and they would have the storyboard kind of like in movies, so they have an idea of what kind of shots they want. But I'm pretty respectful of the writing. I am, so I always want to make it work. And they're always kind of like, Nate especially, they're always kind of like, you could change it, you could see what feels right for the character,
Right.
which I really appreciated. And every time, we would try to perfect it, so we would do it like 8 to 10 times, the one scene, and after we got the shot that we really like, he would always say, let's just do one more and just have fun with it. Do whatever you want.
Cool. Yeah.
And sometimes that would be the one that's used in the game. So yeah, I just remember the wonderful collaborative effort
That's
went into
awesome,
it.
yeah. Because knowing like from the game, there's like hundreds of quests, like billions of quests, and just like I'm just thinking like, man, he's got to memorize so many like lines from like side quests to main quests to like quests from Masako or Yuna's quest, the Tales.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Well, I mean, I don't want to like dispel the magic, but most of it's voiceover, so the lines are in front of my face.
Oh yeah.
But
true.
for this one, I think particular to this one, again, but I think this is unique to Sucker Punch. I think, well, who knows? But the secondary scene that's not mocap, but it's just camera in front of my face, and you can tell in the video game a lot of the secondary characters, those scenes are just done by in the VO booth with just a camera in front of our faces, and those we were encouraged to memorize the lines, just because you don't it actually captures the eye movement.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, right,
So
right.
you don't want to be like looking up and down at the lines. And the first couple of times we did it with the camera, we were like, oh, you don't have to memorize lines, so we would like kind of look up, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So after that, I took pride in like learning all of my lines, those scenes.
Yeah.
So that and we would try and act it out as best as we can with all the cables attached to us, because it's just a VO booth.
Yeah.
So it's very limited movement, but yeah, all the lines were memorized. At least on my part. Sometimes the other actors were not. But yeah, again, like Sucker Punch made it an effort to make sure that there's two actors reacting off of each other all the time,
Yeah.
because they thought that gave the best performance results.
Right.
And I think it worked.
Cool.
Just a quick question. I was hoping to get your kind of experience, since there were so many changes you talked about to like the story or like these emotional ties to characters. While you were playing the game, like as a player, was there any moments that like wowed you that you didn't see coming, like when you were recording, like because it added like music and things like that that kind of makes the emotional impact greater?
Yeah, I mean, I always mention the prologue at the end of prologue, the going into the open world, writing Nobu. It's got to be Nobu. Into Tsushima, that moment. So yeah, all the moments that I had nothing to do with, because I was just acting and not designing the game itself. Those are the biggest surprise for me. And the second biggest part was the Temuge fight, where he learns the ghost stance, that violence. And I think there's it's like a shot of Jin's face. Obviously, I didn't act that. I don't think I did. But there's a shot of him, like his face, and in my mind, storytelling-wise, it was like there's something in his brain that kind of snapped, that I have to, kill him in this way in order to, do what he needs to do. And yeah, it's like storytelling without, like I wasn't a part of that. Those are my favorite moments actually in the game. So yeah, I think those two moments stuck to me.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
First off, I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with Nobu. Sora all the
Which
way.
one?
Sora.
Okay.
Nobu.
Yeah.
Nobu.
I don't know.
My question was, what's your favorite part of the game? I don't want to say story-wise, because it sounds like there's people still playing it, but just gameplay-wise, what's your favorite section? Because for me, it's like when you get to Iki Island and there's that one shrine where you get the whole zoom out of the whole island. I had to like pause because it's just such a beautiful game.
Oh yeah. Favorite part of the game?
Yeah, just maybe like any sort of section you always look forward to, because it sounds like you replayed it a couple times.
I did. What is my favorite part of the game? You mean like mechanics and stuff?
It could be something like that, or maybe like a particular shrine or a quest or something.
Shrines is a great example of like how, I think the moments where it's just, strikingly beautiful, where you get to the end of the shrine and it just pans out. I always have to take a photo, or the simplicity of just the haiku moments, petting all the pets, or not pets, animals. They're all my pets. Yesterday, there was a dog that came by at my booth, and just, I don't know, I think his name was Dio, and he really seemed to like me, and I don't think it was a coincidence. I think animals just tend to love Jin, so, but yeah, you know what it is? Having played many different games, the R2 button, I think that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
You know what does anyone know what I'm talking about? You just pick it up, just pick up the thing.
Yeah.
Just pick up the item. You
Yeah.
don't need to show me him picking up the item. Just pick up the item.
Yeah.
That's honestly one of my favorite parts of the game, honestly.
If I can ask one more just real quick about the photos.
Yeah.
Did they capture your face for the expressions, or did they just kind of distort the model for those?
Oh yeah, they have like a whole series of it's called scanning, where they have a bunch of like really expensive cameras all around you, and usually they would just say, open your mouth, or like many various faces. Actually, they did the same thing whenever you do the voiceover booth thing that I was talking about. There's a camera in front of you. The very first time we do it, there's a series of faces that we make and different sounds that we make that covers all of the potential, I guess, mouth movements and face movements. So yeah, that's how they get it all.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Huge fan. You mentioned earlier where at the end of every scene you would do one more take just for fun.
Yeah.
Did you guys end up with like a bunch of bloopers at the end of all your recordings, or?
Yeah. I don't know if there were a bunch of them, but there were some silly ones that I did. I just remember one of them was the fight with Ryuzo, and for some reason they wanted like fire. They wanted the castle to be on fire, maybe, or no, maybe it was the first fight, so it was outside. But they wanted like fire, and they couldn't really, like figure out how to make the fire happen. So one of the takes, I just went over to one of the, I guess they had like a candle. So I just, instead of like, right as this fight was about to start, I would just go over to the candle and just tip it over with my sword. So there is a take of that. I don't know if they'll ever show it, but I thought
Just
that was
casually
pretty.
knocking
'cause,
over a candle.
So that I started the fire. So I thought I was helping with the scene. Obviously, they didn't use it.
That'd be hilarious. In game, just the most anticlimactic way to start a fire.
Yeah.
Walk over and kind of.
Yeah. Obviously, they threw that idea out anyway because I don't think there's any fire with
No, I
Ryuzo
don't think so.
scene. One more tidbit that I'll share with you is that they have a recording of me as young Jin saying, "I win," right after, I guess, Lord Shimura. There's a lot of like voiceover outtakes, so that's one of them. They keep like reusing, or for me, for my sake, whenever like we finish a session, and when when Kenji frees the bear or something, and I panic, and Kenji, you're not helping. There's a recording of me. I go like going overboard and saying, Kenji, you're not helping. Which I think is funny, so they should have used it, but they didn't. So, there you go.
Thank you.
So, overall, it took a very long time for Ghost of Tsushima to be made, but from your personal experience, what's the journey like from, having the game being created to, finally being produced, and the legacy still continues to keep growing and such? What's it like?
What's it like? I'm living it, really. This is very new to me. This is my first live convention. And, not to take anything away from the experience, but, I don't, in the booth, a lot of you come, thank you so much, but I look over, right next to me is Steve Downs, and he's got a long line all the time, and I'm like, oh man, maybe someday I'll be like him if I keep making these games. But yeah, it's surreal, to be sure, just to be like, when the game came out and I'm playing it, just to see my face. But there's also the not so negative, but kind of scary side of it too. Like I think the game came out on something like Thursday, and the reviews came out like Monday or Tuesday. And I remember I read some of the reviews, which obviously I shouldn't. But yeah, some of them was like directly at me. So I remember thinking like, oh, what if this failed because of me? And I was in the parking lot of the grocery store that I go to, and I was like, almost in tears. Not maybe I was crying. I don't know, but I went inside, and it's kind of serendipitous because one of the workers noticed my shirt. I was wearing like the Jin Sakai emblem shirt, and he kind of noticed it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy that. I'm looking forward to it." And I was like, "Yo, that's great." Yeah. And he asked me why I had it, and I was like, "Yeah, I played the main character." It's like, "Oh, that's cool." And it was kind of nice. It was just a simple, nice, experience. And to have that happen right after reading the reviews was great. And I think really the fans have made this a very special experience, and it continues to be so.
Thank,
Yo.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I was gonna say that I think we're all here because we love the game, and personally, I think it got robbed of Game of the Year last year. But
2 years ago.
oh yeah, that's right.
No, well, year and a half. Yeah.
Anyways, though, I was glad that it was awarded game for art direction, and I was wondering if you, as a gamer, think of any other games or maybe shows that come to mind that you really admire for their art direction.
Oh, The Last of Us Part 2. Sorry. I mean, they're all great. Like, are you talking about games or movies?
Any sort of medium.
Oh boy. I love all of them. I don't know. Do you have a favorite?
I saw this video where it was like, it was dumb. It was like 100 facts of Ghost, and one of the facts was, I'm not sure if it was true, but they said that some of the art inspiration for the game was for Shadow of the Colossus and Breath of the Wild, which I kind of thought was cool because those are my like 2 other favorite games. Like when it goes from top 3 favorite games, it's like those 3. So I found that really cool.
Yeah. You know what else? It was Red Dead 2 for sure. When I played that, it was just kind of similar to Ghost of Tsushima, but like even in Red Dead, there's a moment where I'm just riding a horse and I notice a bird take off, and it was so real and beautiful that I was like, did they mocap a bird? Like, how the heck did they do that? I don't know if that's art direction, probably not, but just the landscape of Red Dead 2, I think what they accomplished is amazing. So I would put that as one of my best, favorite.
All right, thank you so much.
No problem.
Joke question. We got the mocap for your face, and that's great, but were you the one that actually walked into the hot springs? Like, is that your...
Is that my butt? They scanned it, but I feel like whenever I see, because you can, when he wears the fundoshi, like he's mostly naked, so you get to see his body, and it's really me when I'm in a really, really good shape. So it's not now. Maybe in 9 more weeks, maybe.
My actual question was with Jin, you finally get to play a character that dabbles with both the troubles of having to deal with honor and tradition versus what needs to get done. And genuinely, Jin is a good character. He's good at heart, and he's a good protagonist. Are you looking forward to an opportunity to get to play an antagonist?
Yes.
Any idea on which ones you'd like to go? Would you like to stay within the Ghost of Tsushima world, or would you venture out into other genres?
I mean, as an actor, I just want to do everything for sure. I was in a play called Cambodia Rock Band, and I played a villain in that, and I had a great time with it. I want to play. I don't have to play the Joker, but I want to play something like the Joker. That clown that murders people. That's great. I mean, also just being because I have a clowning background. It's just so much fun to play a character like the Joker, Yeah. But I do. I mean, again, I'm talking as a fan, not as an actor of Ghost of Tsushima. But if there is a sequel, I would like to see him kind of like Batman, just go a little too far.
Step over that edge.
Yeah, step over the edge, because I feel like that's naturally, and also that storytelling-wise, I feel like that's what's interesting. But at the same time, I don't know, because when you play Iki Island, he's just such a good guy also. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know if he will fall, but we'll see.
chapter 2, it felt like there was that kind of you straying a little further into the darkness. And
Yeah.
in chapter 3, it feels like it kind of brings him back. And
Right.
I always just wondered if there was a place in your mind where you saw Jin kind of stepping beyond what was acceptable for everyone, including the people that realize like what the ghost has to do.
Yeah. I mean, again, as a fan, I want to see him fight one of his friends.
I can see that. Awesome. Well,
As
thank
a
you.
fan.
That kind of like the whole Batman concept of you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Did Batman ever fight like Robin or something to the death?
There has been alternate storylines where they've done that. Yeah.
So but something like that where he goes too far.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
Well, thank you.
And then another young hero has to step in and take him down.
Yeah.
But then there goes your job.
Yeah. That's okay. As long as the story's good, I'm
Okay.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I wanted to ask if you have any thoughts on sort of the critical reception of this game in Japan, right, as a Western developed game, and were you concerned how this game would be received in Japan, and did you have a sense of affirmation and validation when the critical reception was so positive, right? Like Famitsu, one of the top preeminent outlets, gave this game a perfect score, right? So can you talk about sort of the conversation of this game in Japan vis-a-vis the U.S.?
Yeah. That meant a lot to me, and especially I think for the Sucker Punch team, because there is a fear of that going in, and I think that's why they were they're really nice guys anyway, but that's why they were so collaborative, and we also always had Japanese either vocal coach or like Japanese culture expert to kind of like help us, and there's always like negotiations because sometimes a game has to be a game and do what the game does, but it was a collaboration. So when Famitsu, did they give us a perfect score?
They did. Right?
They did, right? It was a good score if it wasn't perfect. That meant a lot. It was a sigh of relief, maybe, for Sucker Punch. And some of them were made ambassadors of Tsushima, like all of that being embraced by Japan and its fans. And I have a lot of fans in Japan as well. For me, I'm looking at my parents. They're both Japanese. I'm fully 100% Japanese. I came here at the age of 8, and I can still speak Japanese, but it's hard. And when I'm streaming on Twitch or whatever, and I'm talking to the Japanese audience, I do my best. They request so many cameo requests because they're such passionate fans, which I'm grateful for, but they're getting very limited Japanese from me, and so I feel bad. But it means a lot to me that that the game was accepted well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It was a great job. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, you brought your parents, which is really awesome. How do your parents feel about this?
They're happy. They're here.
She's kind of like shrugging and nodding.
I made my mom play Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm not sure. Did you have fun? Oh yes, but she took like 3 hours to play the prologue because the camera controls.
Yeah.
It's so it's just a foreign thing if you haven't played video games in a while. Sorry to make you stand for.
Oh, it's all right. Congratulations on such a great game.
Oh, thank you so much.
Does it ever get old playing yourself, like in just like the surrealness of like seeing yourself?
Yeah, I mean now I'm kind of like, yeah. I don't want to say it gets old, but I don't play it as much, but whenever I do, I feel like because I've played it 4 times, there's a learning curve whenever you start a new game, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like riding a bike. I feel like when I play Ghost of Tsushima, so it's kind of nice whenever I go back to it. But I don't know. I'm not sick of it. I'm not sick of seeing myself. It's kind of like looking in the mirror almost. It's kind of like you don't get. I don't think you. Hopefully you don't get sick of seeing yourself in the mirror. But it's kind of like, oh, in a video game, it's kind of like, oh, that's weird. But I'm not sick of it. No.
Yeah, I feel like as you see such a strange feeling, like
Yeah.
seeing yourself.
Yeah, it's surreal, and it's it continues to be surreal, but that's the reality. It's weird.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What are one of those video games, or what were your favorite video games in your childhood that you grew up with?
Yes, I mean, I grew up Sega Genesis. My parents are there. They got me a Sega Genesis when I was a kid. So like Golden Axe and Sonic the Hedgehog were like Sonic
Golden
2. Yeah,
Oh, Sonic 2, yeah, that was a
Sonic
good
2, where he turns into Super Sonic or something.
Super Saiyan Sonic?
Super Saiyan Sonic. Yeah. Those are like what I grew up with, but I think Final Fantasy VII, the original, was the one where I would fight with my brother. And of course, my brother takes more of the time, so he's gonna beat it first. But but we had a great time with that. And I played the new one.
A remake?
And I had the remake, and I had just as
Cool.
I want more of that.
Yeah, seriously. All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Before going into this movie, did you watch a lot of Kurosawa films? I may be butchering that pronunciation. Apologies.
You mean before the game? Yes.
Yes.
I did watch a lot of, and Kurosawa films, Seven Samurai, and a lot of focused on Mifune, like Yojimbo.
Did that translate a lot into your motion capture when you were thinking about that as Jin?
Yes, for sure. The posture and all that. I said this on Friday as well, but I think it's in Yojimbo or one of his Mifune films. He does his arm thing where I think whenever somebody's praising him, like, oh, you're a hero, he feels uncomfortable, so he has this little arm twitch, and so I added that incorporated in that performance. For Jin, it's whenever. His thing is, Lord Sakai, Lord Shimura would always tell him to not be emotional. So whenever he feels emotional, his arm gets tight. So he has to loosen it up.
Fist clench.
Yeah. So he has to loosen it up. And if you play the game again, he does it like not even in scenes. He does it sometimes in scenes, but he even does it while he's just waiting around. He would just sort of does this.
I'll have to keep an eye out for that when we get that PC release eventually, right?
Yeah. You haven't even played it.
I've got a copy of it in my back pocket, actually.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I hope it goes to PC, but we'll see. I don't know.
Thank you for your question. Great game. Take care.
Thank you. Great voice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I really like Ghost. It's a beautiful story. It's beautiful artwork. And kind of bothers me that it doesn't get the same kind of respect that's coming out in Hollywood in regards to the Academy Awards. I think that video games, and my background in gaming and being a kid was I loved to read, I loved a good story.
Yeah.
I loved movies. Worked in a video store and rented video games. I went from pinball to Pong to Sega Center to Nintendo 64-bit. And now I'm watching my son play this next generation of groundbreaking, shifting storytelling, because it's a lot different from Zelda when you're da-da-da-da-da-da-da,
Yeah.
and that to Zelda Breath of the Wild. And the worlds that are being created, it's beautiful art. It belongs in a museum, like the Asian Art Museum. It's history. My son loves Red Dead, Oregon Trail. It's been a journey, but he learned things that he wasn't going to be more inclined to learn in school about American history through this game. He became interested in Red Dead and the guns. We took him to the Carson City Mint, the Carson City capital of Nevada, and he could name every firearm in that museum wall. He knew exactly what it was when he saw it, and now he's learning about Japanese feudal history.
Wow.
And he's passionate about it in a way that he never was in school. And what you're doing as a former teacher and an after-school program leader is, bringing education in a way that's way more palatable, getting people excited to cosplay, to create costumes, to become interested in art and to become artists. The soundtracks are just as good as what John Williams has been doing in Hollywood for years. And I would love to see the Ghost featured at like the Crocker Art Museum, Soma, the Asian Art Museum, the Norton Simon Museum of Arts.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see the music get the respect that it gets, that's created for the games that should be at the Grammys. Motion capture is real acting.
Yeah.
Voice acting is real acting. And the fact that you can look here and see how many people are inspired by just walking through the dealer's room, you are actually bringing conversations to the table because you're doing social commentary, whether it's through history or what's sort of like being very shallowly veiled as to what's happening now through video games like Detroit Become Human, or even a story like Before Your Eyes, which tells a beautiful story about parents who lose their child. And it's amazing what gaming has become from where it started back in the days of pinball. So I really think that I would love to see you on display at the Crocker Art Museum. And they're going to have a CrockerCon coming up pretty soon. I think it's going to be the second art mix that they do. So if you're in the area at the time, I would really love to see you there so we could talk to the curator of the museum and try to
in
convince
this area?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's the Crocker Art Museum, not very far from here. The art mix is on their webpage, and they're going to have CrockerCon. It's going to be the second art mix since it happened. So they're going to have the art mix party and then the CrockerCon. But I would love to get you to go with me to convince the Crocker Art Museum to put cosplay on displays as work of arts, manga and anime and games on display as works of art. Because I really do think it is the future of storytelling, not just to sit and watch a movie, but to actually participate in the story, where your choices drive the story. And it's bringing better writing and better storytelling to the world. And it's opening conversations up, and it's encouraging people to learn. I think it's amazing what you do. And I don't think people really recognize it for what it is. But thank you so much for coming here and sharing, and thank you so much for doing such a beautiful story where I could get kids excited about haikus. I mean, how amazing is that?
Yeah.
It's just kind of mind-blowing, and I think that we should speak up if we want to see this kind of stuff out there and just look at it differently, because this is the kind of stuff that could help shape the world and make it a better place if you can get these conversations out there in the hearts and minds of people who are actually willing to go out there and do something like this. Because if you're willing to do this, you might be able to take it next level and do a little bit more to make at least your corner of the world a better place, if not your life, not your friend's life, your community. So thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for a beautiful story, and tell them when you go back to work, good job. Good job. I really love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I agree. And I think, I think this whole room would agree with what you just said.
Well, thank you very much, Daisuke. It was
Thank you,
a pleasure to have you up here once again. And thank you for making us your first live show. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So